Have you ever bought anything that the advertising and so on said, this does this or that, and then when you got it, it didn't? What do you do with it? Send it back? Just keep it because it's too expensive to send back? Amazon now is changing their return policies. What do you do? My wife knows that I am partial to frozen yogurt. And she saw a thing and she ordered it. It was like, make your own ice cream. And during the summer, when it's really hot and I've been working outside, digging, whatever, and due to the disabilities, I have to take regular breaks and stuff, I normally will have some ice cream with Coca-Cola over it, what we used to call an ice cream float. But it's become so expensive. I mean, for me to buy ice cream, American style ice cream, I have to go on to base. That's a 30-minute drive. That's gas. That's an hour's drive round trip. Then, for me to buy it at the commissary, when I buy it, they have a surcharge that goes for the handling and so on. Then I have to take that receipt every month. Anything that I buy on base, especially from the commissary, unless it's like Popeye's chicken or something, fast food, but frozen pizzas, any kind of food, anything bought from the commissary, from the PX, from the clothing and sales, any of these places, I have to take those receipts into the German tax office, okay, which is even further away than the base. So I've got to make this trip by law once a month, round trip. I've got to take them all my receipts, they add it up, and then they charge me another tax. So let's get this straight. I'm supposed to, as a disabled veteran of foreign wars, medically retired with full honors, have access to the base, the commissary, and it's supposed to be economical for me to do so. But in fact, what it is it's costing me more between their little surcharges and stuff and the taxes that I've got to pay by the SOFA agreement to the Germans to make it worth me even going to get a quart of ice cream. So my wife's heart was in the right place. I don't blame her for that. Okay? And the advertising looked fairly good. And so she bought it for me. And we got it home. It arrived. And they gave little packets of ice cream magic and so on that you were supposed to put in with the milk and all of this. And I'll tell you, utter letdown. Total catastrophe. Just as the stuff started getting hard enough to be called possibly ice cream, the motor would freeze up. It just didn't have the power to turn it. The paddle that they gave you is a little plastic thing. The container will only hold maybe a liter. Less than that if you account for ice expansion when it freezes. But the thing is, I didn't want to send it back because it was something from my wife. And I got thinking about it and wound up with this solution. Whoops. Here's the machine. Okay? It comes with the little plastic pedal. Supposedly a non-stick surface that scratches up far too easily. Alright. But I did find, after, again, some experimentation, that if I mix the components properly, it makes a kick-ass yogurt shake or ice cream shake. And I mean, I have to catch it just right. I've about got the timing down. It takes about 90 minutes, sorry, 60, 70 minutes if I use just milk. It takes around 45 minutes if I use mostly yogurt with a little bit of milk added to it. For the flavoring, I can use, if I want a vanilla sweet, I use vanilla sugar. You've got your different flavorings that you can put into it, the liquid flavorings. But what I found is these are basically cold puddings. You mix it with cold water and boom. The same as the pudding mixes that we get in the United States. You know, the 5-minute pudding, mix it with cold milk and boom, you've got pudding later. And some of this stuff, cream caramel, actually to me tastes more like coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, I got that for the wife. Lemon, strawberry, cherry. And what I found is if I take a 500 grams, a half a liter of reduced fat, this is a 3.5% fat, so this is almost a full fat yogurt, white mild yogurt. And I pour this in. It is a thick yogurt. Totally flavorless. But I put this in. Finish filling it with the milk. Today we're going to do basically raspberry. Take this, I just pour that in, just evenly spread it around. Finish filling the to the marker with milk. Then what I do is I set the timer for 45 minutes. It lets you know that you're pushing the button. I tell it freeze and ice cream. It will mix it up, and when I come back, I will have a very thick shake. So it's basically a yogurt, almost soft serve frozen yogurt shake. And it's about as close as I can get, but it's kicking. It's not exactly what it was made to do. But through a little bit of experimentation, I found something that actually, in my opinion, in some cases is better than if it was making ice cream. It's low-fat yogurt. It's just the yogurt. In this case, we happen to not get the low-fat. She got the 3.5% fat. But yogurt, milk, and a pudding that's got the sugar and everything in it. And voila. We'll come back in about 45 minutes. It will automatically stop. It will flip to a chill to keep it there in case I don't get back in time. And We'll check it when I get back. About 40 minutes later, granted, it's not as fast as making a milkshake with pre-frozen ice cream. However, it can hit the spot. And yes, we use stainless steel straws here, not that paper crap. And the few plastic ones that are left around the house, we keep for, well, because one day there won't be any more, and maybe they'll be collectible. They're still in their wrappers. But I even got stainless steel straws in my vehicles to be used when we get sodas and stuff if we're out traveling. Extra thick yogurt blackberry milkshake.